All right, we are live again.
Okay, we are back online. I hope everybody have shared their feedback with our speaker two. Now it's the time to call our speaker three. Our third speaker is from Odisha. She likes playing violin, public speaking, and right now she is learning how to make a balance between personal life and work. But before calling our third speaker, I would like to call her evaluator Anand to share the purpose of her speech.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Priyanka is attempting a unique project today, and that project is a practice of her international speech contest performance. So the objectives are of the ISC, which is everything under the sun. Depending on the ballot, I will provide all the feedback ranging from the verbal, vocal, and the visual parts. In case audience, if you feel there is something as a commendation or as a recommendation, please provide to Priyanka after the speech in personal chat at your end as well. All the very best, Priyanka. Timing will be 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Neeraj.
Thank you so much, Anand. Priyanka, quick audio video check.
Hi, Neeraj. Am I audible quietly, properly?
Yes, you are properly audible and visible.
Thank you.
Priyanka, my new kit, Priyanka.
Dun, 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 Tara. I thought my life would be like a Bollywood song. But the moment I started staying with my father, it took a different toll altogether. Madam Toastmasters and my dear adults. Nowadays, I don't do Netflix and chill. I watch Ramayana with repeat telecasts. I go to gym every day, but my weight is still the same. Why? Because I don't eat this much. I eat this much. And this is not enough. He's stubborn like a child. He never listens to me. Papa, did you take your medicine? I don't want to take these medicines. They are waste. Papa, you have a heart problem. You cannot skip it. But again, you forgot the geyser switch. How many times have I told you? But you will always leave it on. Last month, the electricity bill was 4,300 rupees. What do you do? A working day in life taking care of something couldn't take your small business. I was right, Papa. I haven't seen my friends since then. All I do is work, take care of you. Work, take care of you. When I saw my father, went and sat on the chair. He said, I'm sorry, dear. I guess I forgot again. When I looked at him, I saw he was hurt. And he was hurt because of me. I said, sorry, Papa, I did not mean it, Papa, I'm sorry. I never didn't mean anything, Papa, I'm so sorry, Papa. But he did not say anything. He just left the room. How could I be so loud? It had been only a few months he started staying with me. I remember when he came to my place for the first time, he was struggling to even lift his own luggage. Wait, he was not like that. He used to drop me to my school on his bicycle every day. And now, couldn't even lift a bucket of water? At that moment, I realized that my father has become, oh, he did not leave the geyser on knowingly. He simply forgot. What did I do? How could I talk like this with him? That night, I could not sleep. How could I be so disrespectful to my father? How could I shout at my father who never shouted at me even when I was a small kid? I remember when I was 4 years old, my baby sister was born. One afternoon, when I was playing with her, she slipped from my arms and there was blood on the floor. I was terrified. We immediately rushed her to the hospital. But thankfully, she was all right. She just got only few stitches. When we came back home, my mom started beating like anything, to which my father interrupted and said, "She's just a child. She won't hurt her knowingly." Then he took me in his arms and said, "My dear, your sister is very, very small. So you have to be extra careful." That day, I saw an ocean of empathy in my father's eyes for a 4-year-old me. I asked myself, why couldn't I have the same empathy for my father who is now old? But my dear friends, as they say, it is easier said than done. When we become the providers, we start judging them even for their small mistakes. What if that day my father would also have shouted at me for dropping my sister? What if at every step of my life he would not have said that, "Priyanka, it is okay to make mistakes, but be careful next time"? I don't think I would have gained enough confidence to stand here and speak in front of you. The next day, I pasted a sticky note on the geyser switch. It said, "Sorry, Papa." When Papa read it, he looked at me. His face broke into a beautiful smile. And that one smile, I felt as if I was forgiven. That one smile gave me a ray of hope that yes, I can also have the same patience which he had for me. Since that day, slowly and gradually, I'm trying to understand the innocence behind his mistakes. Nowadays, whenever he makes any mistakes, I do get angry, but I don't show it to him. I rather say, "It is okay, Papa, but be careful next time." My dear Toastmasters and guests, living with parents is indeed difficult. However, with little bit of patience, little bit of understanding, and little bit of empathy, we can understand them. Let us recognize the new kids of our house, our parents. Let us become their forgiving parents, because now it is our turn. Madam Toastmaster.
Wow, wow, wow. What a performance. I'm truly speechless at this moment. I don't know what to say. But I would like to take this 1 minute and give it to everyone to share their feedback with Priyanka. Timer, please note.
In the meantime, you're giving feedback to Toastmaster Priyanka. How about I request everyone to cast their vote for the best prepared speaker? Thank you.
I hope everybody has done their job. Let's move on to our theme again, back again, where I would like to tell few ground rules to take care when you ask someone for the help. You have to be very assertive. You need to be very bold and skilled when making the request. For example, if you want someone to do their work, you cannot just say, on Monday we spoke, and then I know you have many issues, and then Wednesday you showed some progress. It's Thursday now. Would it possible to do this work? Instead of it, you need to say, X, we spoke on Monday that you will deliver it by Thursday. It's not delivered. Is there any issue? Let us discuss. You have to be very direct in your communication. And you need to understand asking isn't always selfish. Sometimes it happens that you ask someone for the help, but other person might also benefit from it. For example, I have this one friend, she's a makeup artist, and she usually goes to different brands, like jewelry brands, ethnic wear brands, for the collaboration. So when they collaborate, the other person also showcase their uh, ethnic wears or jewelry, and she does the makeup. So it's a win-win situation for both the parties. You need to be very astute to understand that when you are asking for the help. And the third very important point, which many person felt that it's the hindrance for them when asking for help, is the rejection. You need to understand rejection is not a big deal. If someone has read this Chicken Soup for the Soul book, the author of this book, Jack Canfield, told that he got rejections, 140 rejections, and it took almost 2.5 years before he published his book in 47 languages. And after that, it remains New York's bestseller for more than 3 years. Not only that, it also leads to a series of more than 300 books of the same book. And then he created a brand worth of $100 million. He always suggests this. For him, no means not yet. You need to find the right address. Asking about the right address, this is my another point. Ask the right person. Ask the right person. Suppose you want to have 1 lakh rupees. You cannot go to the poor people who is hardly affording their own living. You need to go to some rich people who can really help you. So you need to find the right person to take help. Don't waste your efforts in knocking the door at the wrong address. Fifth one, you need to believe that you deserve it. I have seen many women get paid less than their male counterpart, but they are doing equal amount of work that their male counterpart are doing, but they are paying less for the same. So you need to understand, if you're doing same amount of work, you need to have the same pay. So you deserve it and ask for it. And keep this a habit. Be prepared to ask again and again. Sometimes you get rejected not because of you are not good enough. Maybe this is not the priority for the other person. Maybe they have some other priority at this moment. Maybe after 1 year, there is your chance. So you need to ask for your request again and again. I think I have shared enough insights. Let's move on to our another most exciting section, where our table topic master Megha is going to ask few impromptu topics to all of us. Megha, you quick audio video check.
Am I audible and visible?
Absolutely.
Hello, all. I would like you all to first take a deep breath take a deep breath and feel a sense of tranquility in your mind and hearts because this session needs a lot of presence and focus. As same is the case where in Coffee with Karan episode that we have a rapid fire round. Right. So, good evening, all my fellow Toastmaster and guests. This is a session where you all get the opportunity to speak impromptu. Definitely, life does not always gives us prepared speeches. We have to be very, very alert and speak impromptu many a times. So, this is a great opportunity for you all. I will be asking, I'll be giving you topics, and you have to speak on the topic for at least 2 minutes. Timer will help us to not lose track of time. I appreciate everyone, all the speakers of table topics, to use the word of the day, which is tranquility. So let's move on. I would rather appreciate if you all volunteer for the role. But firstly, I would like to pick Rupinder Singh for the first table topic. Rupinder, Toastmaster Rupinder, can you please unmute yourself?
Sure.
I have chose you because I want everyone to learn from you, the way you speak, the way you organize your topics, your content. So your topic is not every question deserves an answer. Not every question deserves an answer. Rupinder Singh.
I totally agree with you, table topic master. Not every question deserves an answer. And who better to know this than me? I'm pretty sure fellow husbands will agree with me when I say that not every question deserves an answer. Why? Let me tell you a story. The other day, I left a mess in the room, which is not surprising. I leave a mess wherever I go. And now my wife comes in and she says, "Are you comfortable with this mess?" Guess what I did? I answered. And not only did I answered, yes, I am happy with my mess. Thereafter followed a mess that robbed me of all my tranquility. My tranquil life was topsy-turvy, upside down. The mess that I did not want in my life, the mess that I was okay with in my room, has translated into the mess called the next few days. I reluctantly, protestingly, and very angrily went about cleaning up my room. My wife came up with a second question. Do you think you can clean your room the way I can? Again, that was a question that did not deserve an answer. But I answered, no. And then she asked me the third question. Do you want me to clean up your room? Again, not a question that deserved an answer. But I answered, yes. Right now, I am devoid of marital peace thanks to answering questions that I should not have answered. So my advice to you fellow husbands and prospective husbands out there, not every question deserves an answer, particularly the ones that come from your wife. Madam Topics Master.
Very well said. You made it hilarious and realistic in the same way. So my next volunteer will be Naman Khandelwal. Naman, can I request you to unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Can you also or video start your video?
Yes, sure, ma'am.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, now your topic is education should be about learning to ask questions, not memorizing answers. Education should be about learning to ask questions, not memorizing answers. Over to you, Naman.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Table Topic Master, for giving me this topic. And as I'm also a learner and an academician, like I'm pursuing architecture right now, so I can like tell about my experience on asking questions rather than memorizing things. As my education is mostly based on this is based on not memorizing things but asking questions or doubts. Like my education allows me not for reading books and but for exploring the world and the field. So so in my field, I'm always taught to ask questions on whichever topic I feel uh, is not uh, um, is not embedded in my mind. And I think that asking questions makes you like become a better learner rather than becoming a bookworm. And yeah, that was. Thank you.
Very well attempted, Naman. I myself feel that the education system of India should be changed. Like it should not be just about scoring marks by memorizing answers. So here we go to our next speech, and I would like to pick Mehraj for it. Mehraj, can I request you to unmute yourself and also start your video?
Hi, Megha. Megha, I guess I am having some internet. Uh, I have a low bandwidth, so is it okay if I
Yeah,
just
it is.
not?
It is completely okay. Perfect. Okay. So your topic is don't ask questions if you don't want to hear the answers. Don't ask questions if you don't want to hear the answers. Mehraj.
Okay. Don't ask questions if you don't want to hear the answer.
Right.
Okay. Allow me just 30 seconds probably.
Yeah, you can take your time.
Okay.
You can say whatever comes to your mind.
Yeah, people should be curious by nature. And that quality of people or anyone for that matter should be cultivated from the childhood, right? We are as an coming from an Indian culture wherein we are taught to probably listen and probably not to answer back people. We tend to develop a personality wherein we are not where we are not encouraged to ask questions. And if we don't ask questions, our doubts will not be cleared. Probably in the process, we are the people who gets you know probably how do I put it? I mean, in the process, we are the people who are at loss, right? If we have a doubt in any topic and we are not asking questions, I don't think so. Our doubt will be solved or resolved. Even in class, we are not taught to ask questions, or we are not, uh, yeah, basically not taught to ask the right question. So basically, that should be. Uh, yeah, that should be encouraged, and that's how, like, if we are not asking question, we'll not get the answer. Over to you.
Very well attempted, Mehraj. It was a tough topic, though. You attempted very well. Now, moving on to the next, I would like to pick Mani Jain for the speech. Today we have so many Jains in the meeting. I'm also a Jain. Your topic is, it is strange that sword and words have same letters. It is strange that sword and words have same letters. Mani Jain.
Yes, ma'am. Whenever I heard of sword and words phrased together in a sentence, the one thing that strikes in my mind is journalism, because they are the fourth pillar of our democracy and their words are like the sword for our country. Their words uh, act as a sword as they deliver the true news, true articles, true information to us. So they also represent our country or any country for that matter at a national and an international way. So I believe that words play a very important role, as they describes what we are feeling. They are the emotion, or we can say they are the emotion textually in a oral way. So they are the very strong medium for displaying our emotion. So I believe the words are materialized in a sword. They can be materialized as a sword. That's it from my part.
Very well said, Mani. Moving on to the next topic, I would like to pick Mohit for the speech. Mohit, can I cannot see Mohit. Okay, moving on to next, I would like to pick Neha for the,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, Neha Jangra. Okay, now your topic is, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Neha, before that, can I please request you to show yourself to everyone? Like to start your recording video?
I'm actually network issues and so इधर नहीं हो पाए. It's my first day today.
Okay, that's completely fine. You can move ahead. You can
Can you
go ahead
please
with your.
repeat? Can
Yes.
you please
If
repeat
you don't ask, the question, the answer is always no. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Neha.
Please give me 30 seconds. Means if you don't ask, the answer is always no. I'll don't. Sometimes it becomes our habit to always listen that yes. It becomes a habit that we always wanted to answer in the yes form. So, I'm not able to speak.
That's completely all right. You can just gather your thoughts a little.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying.
It's completely fine, Neha. We were all the same when we had our first table
Yes.
topic. I completely feel you.
No, ma'am, I'm not able.
Okay, that's completely
Sorry
okay.
for that.
I would love to see you again in the meeting, and would love to see you attempting the topic. Okay, so moving on for our session, for the next topic, I would love to pick grammarian Rohan for the speech, as he have raised the hand. Rohan, can I have a quick audio video check?
Hi, Mega. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you're audible and visible. Okay, your topic is ask, don't hesitate. Ask, don't hesitate.
Thank you so much for the topic, Toastmaster Megha. Ask, don't hesitate. Firstly, I would like to introduce I'm Rohan, completely doing sales B2B job, and this kind of situation comes into my daily life cycle, where I need to pitch a lot of things to my customers, and there I hesitate a lot to ask them a question. There was a time which I could recollect when I was in my initial stage of my career, where I was thinking in my back of the mind that, oh God, what will happen if I'll ask this customer to purchase our product? What will happen if I'll ask my customer if we can have a meet or not? But whenever I asked them, then I got my answer. I got and some kind of answer from their side, which didn't resonated with my thoughts, which I have thought or I have believed. So this is what power of asking. I would like to encourage you all. Always ask your thoughts, your questions to your audience, and you will get your thoughts. Madam Toastmasters, back to you.
Very nice, early attempted. I think asking is difficult when the person standing in front is related to you in any way. For me, it gets difficult then. Okay, so now moving on to our next topic. First of all, let me pick someone. Okay, I would love to pick Ankit Agarwal for the speech.
Am I audible and visible, Megha?
Yes, you are audible and visible. Ankit, your topic is questions are never foolish. Stupider are those who never ask anything. Questions are never foolish. Stupider are those who never ask anything.
Thanks, Megha, for giving me such a wonderful topic. Questions are never foolish, but stupiders are who never ask those questions. So I completely agree with it. And there has been a lot of examples in my life. I can give one example. So in my first job, like after a rotational training program that I had, like after that, basically we were a group of 5 people, which company wanted to allocate to different 5 locations. And the company basically, or the HR mentioned that they will decide based on our skill set and the requirements at different positions, they will choose the location for us. So I just took a decision that let me just call the VP HR who is taking a decision. I just call him and just let him know that my preference is just this location, and it would be great if I could get that location. And if I get any other location, I might be looking outside in future. I just took a bold move in terms of just letting him know about the preferences when he even didn't ask for it. So I just question it, can I get it? Can I get it? So he said, like, we all want to help all of you. So if it's possible at his end or his team end, we can definitely do that. So just asking this question, right? When asking this question when it was not even uh, like it was even not supposed to be asked, right? So that basically gave me the location that I wanted. So this is like how powerful is asking questions sometimes, right? If I would not have even asked that question, I most probably would not have got that location which I wanted. So definitely, yes, questions are not foolish. Stupiders are who don't ask those questions. Over to you, Mega.
Very well said, Ankit. I think asking is equal to bold try. A bold person can only ask things. Okay, so moving on to the next topic. I would love to pick Ravi Bhardwaj for the role.
I am
Ravi,
visible and audible.
yes, you're audible and visible. Ravi, your topic is one who never asks, either knows everything or nothing. One who never asks, either knows everything or nothing. Over to you, Ravi Bhardwaj.
Thank you, Mega, for this topic. I don't know what to say, but it's a very simple. Like, if I have not asked, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes, yes, definitely. One who never asks, either knows everything or nothing.
Okay, thank you. So, whenever if person does not ask, it is not that he knows something. Means he knows something on it. It is always the fear which has been created by the, you can say, the society, or been created by an imaginary fear that comes in our mind, which has been put up inside us, that if we have asked this question, then uh, uh, what to say, uh, I'm not able to recall what I want to say. Okay, so uh, uh, just I feel that without ask, means when you ask someone, no, you produce some courage to what you have. Means you show courage, and it helps you to get out of that comfort zone, which is. And if someone never asks a question, now it means that either he has not tried it, or someone has not guided him to do that. And if anyone can help some, means there was one, I can give from my example, that there was professor in my college who used to encourage us to ask the question. And for the 6 months, I have never asked the question from that professor. But at the end of the semester, I just ask him the one question. At the end of the semester, I realized that it was not so difficult that I was imagining in my mind, that what one question can create problem to me. So with that, I think asking question is a good one, and I think everyone should ask question without thinking which is good or which is bad. So I hope that I have said something relatable to the topic. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Definitely, you attempted it very well. So now it's time to wrap up the session. We had an amazing session. I love the speakers. And so moving on to the next part of the meeting, over to you, Timot. Neeraj.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master, for conducting such a wonderful section. You never fail to amaze me, honestly. Now moving on to our next section. I think this is where I would like to everyone participate in this. This is section is called Success Stories. I will share my success story where I got what I wanted just by asking. So after marriage, my husband was in US, and I just after marriage, I just couldn't stay alone. But I didn't have any valid reason to ask my employer that I want to go to US and enjoy and have fun. So this is not the right reason, right, to ask the sabbatical. I was not pregnant. I didn't have any kind of emergency. I thought a lot, what should I ask? What should I ask? How should I ask? It was very difficult because uh, employer will not give you sabbatical on the basis of that you want to travel and enjoy your life. Still, I made very bold move. I knew this is the only chance and I won't get this kind of time again. And trust me, I had the best time at that time. The duration, then I went to US, I traveled a lot. I like tried all kind of things which I ever wanted to. So at that time, fortunately, my supervisor and my manager They both were getting married to each other, and they were so happy, and they understood that how important it is now to give time to your relationship than focusing on the personal professional life. So basis on, because they were getting married to each other and they were on the same phase, they understood my situation and gave me sabbatical. And just like that, my boldness and skills to ask for work from home gave me this opportunity. Now I would like to hear same kind of stories from you. So let's motivate each other with similar kind of stories. Anshuman, I would like to hear from you.
Regarding asking for what do you want to hear to small mirrors? That when I've gone out and asked for something and received it, that is what you want to know, right?
Yes, like any instance where you asked for something and you got it just by asking, not by showing any skill or something.
Right. I think one of my biggest corporate learnings has been that when we transition from student life to corporate life, we are so used to getting the homework. In class, in school, I used to get the homework, I used to do it and submit it to my teacher. College, we used to get assignments, used to submit it. Corporate, I entered with the mindset that my manager will give me work, I will do it, and manager will reward me. That worked well for 3 to 4 years. But as I started to enter into the middle management phase, I realized that that mindset has to start changing and I have to start asking for work. That was a very difficult phase, very difficult ways to transition because I was programmed for 25 years of my life to just receive work and do it. So asking for projects, asking for travel opportunities, asking for new projects, all of that has been a habit I've developed over a period of time. And my latest story resonates with your story itself. One of my stakeholder teams was traveling to US for their offsite. I was their closest stakeholder. I was tempted to go, uh, and I was on the brink of going if I'd asked. My only problem was passport and visa concerns, which was different altogether. But I took the risk. I asked. I received generous budget for my travel. I took the risk on passport, on visa, did get to travel and come back. It happened only because I asked. If I had not asked, I would not have received it. And that's a part of asking. Maximum, as you mentioned, Toastmasters, right? We'll get a no. If I had not asked, I would have got a no. I would have been sitting in this same room for for 2 to 3 weeks, where I got to visit 2 to 3 different cities, explore those cities, and come back. So you're definitely right. Just asking leads to receiving.
Thank you so much, Anshuman, for sharing your story. I think every corporate employee relates to it. Yeah, this is, let's know one more story. Anybody would like to share anything? Okay, Shrishti, go on.
Yeah, this is something that happened quite recently. There was in my office, in my current workplace, there was a functionality that did not exist. So I was interested in writing and reading and the copywriting of the application, but we had no copywriters. And I started going to my manager telling him, this is wrong, this should be like this should be like that. And I have no previous experience in copywriting. So I would just read online and then try to do this improvement. So what happened is one day the MD and the managing director of the bank, Mr. Vaidyanathan, he encountered some error on the application where he said that the writing is really bad, the message doesn't communicate anything. And this is the same issue that I had already raised to my manager some 2 months previously. And when he got really inflamed, he said to the head of product that, you're going to lose your job if this doesn't get fixed. And somehow, because I had once pointed out to my manager that this is a problem that I see and I think that this should be corrected and this is my suggestion for it, somehow it reached the head of product and I became the official person responsible for doing all of the writing on the app. I ended up starting a function for UX writing in the organization. I hired a person, and now that person is running the function. But it would have never happened if I had never once gone to my manager and said, I want to do this, I want to improve this. Will you let me take a stab at it? Even though I had no experience, no education in that particular field, I somehow ended up responsible for that whole function and its creation. So I think it works.
Thank you so much, Shrishti. I know how difficult it is. You need guts and boldness to make this move. And it's such a gift to hear such kind of stories for our inspiration. Thank you so much. Now, because we are running short of time, I would like to call our general evaluator, Shrishti, on the stage and then ask her to give us evaluation.
Hello, thank you so much for calling me back right after I was already on the stage. Okay, so very quickly, because we're almost at the edge of time, I'm going to start by calling my first speech evaluator to come and give their evaluation. Can we have evaluator 1 on stage? That is Toastmaster Ankit
Am I?
for, yeah,
Go ahead, Srishti. Am I audible and visible? Okay.
yes, you are.
Thanks, Srishti. So yeah. So ride of a lifetime, right? Thanks, Animesh, for thanks, Priyesh, for reminding us about the principles of leadership as well as inspiring us through the journey of Bob Iger. Right. So just talking about this strength, right? Like when I was watching your speech, right, I realized that you don't remember everything of your speech, but still, like your voice had that tranquil nature, like calmness nature, and also you had a voice clarity, like which through which we can all understand like what story you are telling, what you are telling, so we can completely comprehend what you are saying. So these are two strengths that you has showed us, right? In terms of suggestions, right? Since this objective was with respect to vocal variety as well as the gestures or the movement. So I want to talk first about gestures, right? So what we could see, right? First, your hands were not visible, so I cannot guess about the hand gestures. But what you could have used, right? So you said there are three powers of three three core principles of leadership, or you said three powers of leadership that Bob Iger had, right? You could have used fingers to reflect the three, right? So personal, positional, and then the relational, something like this. This would have grabbed more attention of audience, right? So this is with respect to the gestures, right? Then talking about the vocal variety, right? So I think one thing which you can inculcate like easily, right? So there are some keywords that you use during your speech, right? So you can be little loud over there, right? So using that could help you, right? Let's say you could have said later on with his visionary strategies and principles, right? You could have given a more focus on visionary, right? So that was the main keyword that was there, right? So instead of just using plain later on with his visionary strategies and principles, you could have given more focus on these keywords. So this will help to get more audience engagement. So this is with respect to the vocal variety. So overall, like you have a great potential with your voice clarity and tranquility, right? And with inclusion of uh, gestures, especially hand gestures, as well as using vocal variety for the keywords. I think if you include these, you can become a voice of leadership in future. So I am hoping to see the improvements in you next time with these two things. Over to you, Toastmaster and General Evaluator, Srishti.
Thank you,
Thanks, Ankit.
Toastmaster
Thanks a
Utkarsh.
lot.
Sorry, someone saying something?
No, just a thank Ankit for the wonderful feedback he gave me. Thank you.
Okay. May I now have the next evaluator on Spotlight, which is Toastmaster Utkarsh? Can we have a quick audio video check?
Hi, Toastmaster Srishti. Am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes, you are.
All right, let me spotlight my target speaker. Yeah. Firstly, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude for Toastmaster Ravi for inspiring us through his inspirational heroes. Toastmaster Ravi, this was your second prepared speech, and let me say it at the outset. I am stunned by your growth. I know sometimes we generally tend to exaggerate, but I'm genuinely supremely impressed by your growth. I vividly remember your icebreaker speech, and you have taken huge strides. Let's start with what all really impressed me, and the list is pretty big. Firstly, you had the courage to stand and deliver your speech in your second speech itself, which speaks volume. And what really impressed me is your level of confidence, which has grown tremendously. You were at ease while speaking. The hand gestures were smooth, nothing too over the top. So that was very subtly and very well done. The script was simple and well structured. I mean, it could have been better, which we'll talk about it in detail a bit later. I like the starting plot of how you connected the evolution of us as humans and then how we require mentors or heroes in our life to grow and evolve. And then I like the part where you talked about virtual heroes can solve virtual problems only. Uh, I was equally impressed by how emotive you were today, especially while speaking about your journey of getting into the Indian Army and not making it through. And of course, your admiration for Major Dhyancharya and Sonu Sood and the way you weaved them in your story. First, you talked about how you got inspired from the movie Border, and then the Sunny's character, then working hard to get into Indian Army, not getting through, and then eventually stumped by COVID, getting motivated by Sonu Sood. So there's a flow. There was a flow to the story, and nothing felt like something abrupt has come forward. So that was really well done. Few issues to rectify, Toastmaster Ravi. Since it was a prepared speech, I would highly encourage that there should be no grammar or pronunciation issues. I mean, it could be pardonable when it's a table topic, but when it's a prepared speech, I request you to be very thorough with grammar and pronunciation. There were few issues like in the beginning you said a rays of light was coming from behind, so it should be a ray of light. There were a few like you yourself corrected where you said COVID come and then you said COVID came. Then there was a pronunciation issue. It was you said film, it should be film. So these things should ideally be, but should ideally not be there. So these things should be taken care of at the outset. So that's number one. You were definitely very emotive for sure, but I suggest you to work on bringing solid vocal variety. Like in a few instances, there could have been like major vocal variety sessions that you could have implemented. And we'll talk about it offline because I will for sure have paucity of time to explain you everything. So we'll connect offline where I talk in detail about how could you have improvised and bring in more vocal variety in your speech. That is number two. The script was simple, but I felt it could further create much more spark if you could have a blockbuster beginning. I mean, you had the whole border sequence, so maybe you could have started with a sequence from border and then kind of weave your story from there. So I felt like the starting should be something that could catch audience attention, and that is where I felt you lagged a bit. That is my third recommendation. And lastly, I would say that this is your second speech, and I'm sure that you will go from strength to strength. And I'm running out of time. I'm really excited for your journey as a speaker, Toastmaster Ravi. We'll definitely connect offline. All the very best. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Utkarsh. And now I would like to call the final speech evaluator, Toastmaster Anand. Could we have him on spotlight?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Please confirm if I'm audible and visible.
You are audible, but I'm not able to see. Okay, now you are visible as well. All the best.
All right. So the third and final speaker today had a powerhouse of a speech, and no wonder she is going to represent at division level. Now, the speech, My New Kid, had lots and lots of positives. So I had to really nitpick a few areas of improvement for marginal improvement, which may prove the winning margin at that level where she's competing. So lend me your ears, everyone, and especially Priyanka. I could see your preparedness level shining throughout the speech today. Case in point, you were speaking to the lens throughout the speech, whether you are on the right or the left or in the center, you were not getting distracted by the screen, but looking at the lens and speaking to 100% of your audience in an impactful manner. Great job. Of course, your speech was structured with a very key central message, and it was flowing in a very nice, fluent manner. But I could not help but appreciate those subtle pauses or the subtlety in the pace where you took a moment to stop, emphasize, or put gravity on certain words. For example, my father had become old, and that was a power touch. Great job over there as well. How to take it from this to probably an international level speech, considering you are going to compete in an online medium, most likely. The audio was patchy at a few places. Let me tell you the reason for that as well. For 2 or 3 lines, very impactful lines, we could hear the intensity, but not the actual verbal expressions. And the reason was that you had probably a clip on mic somewhere here. While you were speaking there, it was audible. The moment you went like that, it completely became inaudible. My suggestion, deliver while wearing something with a collar, probably a blazer, and put it on maybe second or third button at that length, so that wherever you are speaking, it doesn't get hidden under your chin. The next suggestion is mark your speaking area very well. If you are not aware about the edges, you probably would go like that, and the left or the rightmost will get cut off. So you will lose perhaps a few expressions through your gestures and body language over there. And if possible at this stage, consider putting the title of your speech not as something as a noun or pronoun, but something as a takeaway, something as an actionable phrase. Probably that will add a few more stars and sunshine to the impactful speech that you have. To sum it up, your content as well as delivery is power packed today, very apt for online audience. If you focus on these technical aspects relating to the stage area as well as the mic, probably you will get to district level very easily with your subtle and relaxed and commanding stage presence today. Wish you all the very best. Keep us posted. Over to you, Srishti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. That closes our speech evaluators. Now I will call upon the auxiliary role players. The first one being the timer. Toastmaster Amit, can we have you on spotlight? Are you ready with your report?
Hello, good evening.
Yes,
Am I
you're
audible?
audible and visible.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, for this kind of thing. I am a person who is always afraid of asking questions, so thank you for that. And here I'm ready with my report. So, starting with our first section of meeting, that is prepared speeches. Prepared speeches are being very tranquil with their speeches, and they are very consistent with time. So we have the first speaker, Priyesh, who completed his speech in 6 minutes 26 seconds. That and second speech, Mr. Ravi, who completed his speech in 6 minutes 55 seconds. Third speaker, Priyanka Misra, she completed her speech in 6 minutes 55 seconds. Now we had 8 table topics. Our first table topic, Mr. Rupinder, our DTM, who spoke for 2 minutes 10 seconds. Naman, he spoke for 1 minute 20 seconds. Miraj spoke for 2 minutes 20 seconds. Mani Jain spoke for 1 minute 16 seconds. Neha spoke for 1 minute 32 seconds. Rohan completed his table topics in 1 minute 42 seconds. Ankit spoke for 1 minute 57 seconds. And Ravi completed his speech in 2 minutes 12 seconds. They all are within our time limits. And when it comes to evaluation, Ankit Agrawal who gave his evaluation in 2 minutes 50 seconds. That was within time. Utkarsh gave his evaluation in 3 minutes 40 seconds, a bit uh, from time. And Anand completed his uh, uh, evaluation in 3 minutes 27 seconds. That was also in time. Thank you. That was my report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. Now I would like to call upon our counter for the day, Toastmaster Anshuman. Could we have him on spotlight, please? Can you just do an audio video check, please?
Am I audible and visible,
Yes, you are.
Toastmasters? All right. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Srishti. I had a busy evening when I joined the meeting. I'll share with you what your top improvement areas are, especially the ones which were outliers, starting with the role players. Timer Amit, you need to focus your hours because you had 6 hours during the course of introduction and presenting the report. However, beat Sergeant Arms Ankit with one short pause, presiding officer Utkarsh was flawless. Toastmaster Neeraj, great job today. Just 1 hour which I could notice. General evaluator Shrishti, during introductions to a table topping master, one and grammarian Rohan, one. So relatively, the others were within the range, but Amit, you need to really work on your R's. From a speaker standpoint, Priyesh, lot of ands. I stopped counting after 7. After every sentence, you had an and. So you need to work on the ands after each sentence and two ums. Ravi, your speech was much better than your table topic. You just had 2 hours and one arm. Priyanka, you're almost flawless. That's great going. Table topics, huge list. I'll quickly go through the list. Rupinder, just one long and. Naman, 3 shows, 2 hours, 5 hours. Really need to practice on the filler counters. Mehraj, 2 okays. You speak okay a lot. 3 hours, 2 ands. Money, you had 5 hours. Neha, you did not speak. There was a long pause. Rohan, just 1 hour in your table topic. Ankit, 4 hours, 1 arm. Ravi, your table topic was full of 7 hours, 2 long pauses, and 3 shows. Need to really practice there. Closing with the evaluators, Ankit, 3 shows, 3 hours. Utkar, just 1 hour. Anand, 3 hours. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Srishti.
Okay, now calling the final auxiliary role player for today's meeting. It's our grammarian, Toastmaster Rohan.
Hi Srishti, I won't be able to turn on my camera because of net bandwidth issue. So I'm just sharing my report to you guys. So in general, I observed a strong effort from everyone to use language effectively and word of the day confidently. It's evident that each of you is committed to improving your communication skill and I applaud your dedication to growth. I'm just sharing my report to you. So today's word of the day is tranquility, which used by Toastmaster Neeraj, Utkarsh, and then I have some commendations like some list of sayings which I like. Mediocrity, which means the quality of being not very good. Ocean of empathy, then some improper use and suggestion from my side. He fight till the night. Someone used he fight till the night, which should be he fights until the night. That is what my report is all about. Over to you, Srishti.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Rohan. And now coming to general evaluation, today my job is very, very easy because only one person asked me for an evaluation. So that is what I will be doing. And that person is Toastmaster Ravi. And let me just write down. Okay, so I've got Toastmaster Ravi's evaluation. Now, Toastmaster Ravi specifically asked for one thing, which was about grammar and fluency in his language. And I have noticed that some of the things that I've written down were already covered by Toastmaster Utkarsh. So I will just skip those and speak about two major themes. The first being pronunciation. So pronunciation also has a couple of sub bullets that I will address. So first is pronunciation, and the second is tenses and language. So tense conjugation is what we're going to address. The first, pronunciation, there are two parts. One is mispronunciation, and the second is accents, right? Accents, the second one is actually something that we're all very prone to, because we come from a country, from regions where English is not our first language. So it's very common for our native pronunciation or native accent to translate into English. What we do is typically we like to focus or add an accent being a moment of force in the second half of the word, where ideally in English it would probably be in the first half of the word. For example, the word that was said was complex, whereas when you speak it with proper pronunciation or proper accenting, it would be complex. So the force of that word actually comes in the first syllable rather than the last syllable, which is typical of our Indian languages. Okay, so that's one thing. And in terms of pronunciation, this is one word where a lot of people mispronounced it. So I'm not just calling out Toastmaster Ravi, but everybody else as well. Question is pronounced question, not question. Okay. This is something that everyone, like everybody has to unmute and say question. Okay. At the count of 3, everybody unmute and say question.
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 Yes.
Question.
So it's question, not question. Then it is social, not social. Okay. There are some other words as well, but I think these are the two most common ones. And so this is the first part, pronunciation. The second part is grammar and tenses. So there are a lot of tenses in English language, starting from the past perfect, which is something that had happened before something happened. Okay, I know this is complicated, but when you are talking about something that happened in, say, 2020, and the story that you are telling is of 2021, so you can say, she did this because this had happened the previous year. Okay, so something like center command has given permission is what was used by Toastmaster Ravi, whereas what should have been used is center command had given permission, because this is something that happened in the past of the past. Okay, I know this sounds a little complex, but bear with me here. Then, so there's past perfect, this had happened. There is simple past, which is this happened. There's past continuous, which is similar, this was happening. There is okay, then we move to the present tenses. Present is there's simple present. This is, she is girl, she is a girl, that is simple present. There is present continuous, she is doing this. There is so there is simple present, simple present, present continuous, present. Okay, anyway. And then there are a lot more conjugations of present and future as well, but I'm going to stop that here, because I think when we tell stories, past is one of the major tenses that we use. So we need to be careful. And I know a lot of people try to tell their stories in simple present, which is this happens, the door opens, the man enters. But sticking to present tense is very difficult when storytelling. So you'll always notice that someone will start with, the sky is dark. And then suddenly they'll move to, then he opened the box. And suddenly, because, so what happens is when you're doing tenses, right? Someone is following the story. And the moment you move from the present tense to the past tense, people start thinking that this is not part of the current story, it is part of something that happened in the past, or this is a flashback or something. So when you change tenses, you actually make it very difficult for someone who's listening to you to follow along. So please everybody work on your tenses. And yeah, so for example, PM has declared, right? That's a present perfect. But you actually had to use past perfect, which is PM had declared, that is why this thing happened. Okay, and I know that I'm looking at Toastmaster Anshuman's face, who is just smiling, and he's like, what is this? Stop with this. And everyone else, I think, has zoned out. So that's okay. It is my responsibility to point this out, and it was specifically asked for. And if you ask for it, I have to let you have it. So there you go. And because nobody else asked me for anything today, I think everybody's lost. If anyone has any last minute questions, not questions, about anything that they want to ask the general evaluator, you can use this time. Otherwise, if you don't ask for it, the answer is always no.
Utkarsh has something to ask.
Okay, Toastmaster Utkarsh. Yes.
Hi, general evaluator. My question is, I always struggle with time. My 2 to 3 minute evaluation always has, like, the problem is the time. I have a lot more to speak, and with the CRC approach, it becomes very difficult to manage it. So, do you have any suggestion of how to manage that within 3 minutes?
So I think that's something that I wrote for you specifically during your evaluation, which was that it's great that you start with positive and you have a lot of things to share, which is something that I'm going to take back as feedback for myself as well today. But I think one thing is that you need to prioritize what you are telling. So you might have identified 5 things, but you also have to look at who are you evaluating. If you're evaluating someone who is just giving their second speech, it's unlikely that they will be able to cover the distance between that whole speech and that perfect ideal speaker that they can become. Right? So you need to prioritize something that is, absolutely you feel that that needs to be corrected. And in terms of a challenge, something that is easily accessible to the person, maybe one thing, because if you give 5 suggestions, you won't be able to incorporate all of that in the very next speech anyway. And you can possibly overwhelm the person. So I think one of the ways in which you can cut down is to limit your number of points or limit your number of suggestions, especially when you have just 2 minutes. Okay, anyone else have any questions? I have a chat message. Yes, Toastmaster Neeraj.
So Shrishti, this is first time when I try to attempt TMOD impromptu. Most of the time I always use script. I want to know how I did this time because I was very nervous, but I still did it because I wanted to improve on this particular part.
I think you did great because I had no idea you didn't have a script. So no, I don't think anybody realized that you did not have a script. I mean, hands up if anyone did. No, did anyone realize? No? Okay. So I think that is a great indicator that you're already able to sense the energy, you're able to take a topic and speak about it for a variable amount of time. So if you have a lot of time, you can speak on it. If you have less time, I think you did really well. That being said, and one thing that I specifically wrote down for you was the way that you structured your content. I think that was really good. And typically, when I was thinking about your speech before you began, or before your session, before you began, I was imagining that you would probably start with someone who succeeded in getting what they wanted, and then maybe at the end talk about what are the obstacles, and then make that engaging. But you made it engaging right from the start. And I think also, you had so you were interactive all throughout. And the second part is that you were also like, you started from the blocks. So basically now people are invested because people are talking about their problems, and you're going to come to the end, and you ended with something motivational and inspiring. So I think that was a structure that was new to me, and I felt that that was really effective because now we're on like highest energy right at the end. So I think that was really, really good. And yeah, and I think the question pronunciation is also for you. That's for everybody, actually. Like, I think other than one or two people, everybody who said question. Okay, so I'm holding it against everyone. Okay, and I think I have spoken a lot, and I should follow the advice that I should have a taste of my own bitter medicine and cut it. And now I would like to hand the spotlight back over to Toastmaster Neeraj.
Thank you so much, Trishti, for such a detailed evaluation and also bringing the new format. We will take care of it to ask you from the beginning itself. And now I would like to quickly wrap it up with the saying that you need to keep in mind, if there is something to gain by asking and nothing to lose by asking, by all means ask. Over this, I would end this. I would like to close this and hand over the stage back to our presiding officer, Utkarsh.
Our Madam Vice President Education leading the way and showing us how to hold an impressive Toastmaster of the Day session. Can we have a huge, huge round of applause for her? This was truly impressive, Neeraj. It didn't feel, I mean, it never felt like you were reading from the script earlier also. And today, if it was your first time, you did a fantastic job. I would also take this quick opportunity to thank our general evaluator, Toastmaster Srishti, for bringing this new innovative format. We loved it. I would also request Toastmaster Srishti to kindly share the feedback that or the notes that he has made for everyone, either on the WhatsApp group or her. I would suggest to do it on the WhatsApp group so that we could see where we need to improve. I'm sure you couldn't say a lot of things because of paucity of time, so I request you to share those notes with us. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Srishti. Guys, it's time that we quickly wrap up our meeting. We are already over time. 2 hours passed by in a zippy, and I am going to launch some polls right away. Let's do it for the best speech evaluator. I request everyone to cast their votes. You have 10 to 15 seconds for the same. And in the meantime, I will utilize this time to take valuable feedbacks from our guests. How about I start with Naman? Hi, Naman. It's okay if you don't want to switch on your camera, but I request you to unmute right now. Or if you could do both, that would be great as well. Hi, Naman.
Hi.
And right away, I want to ask you, how was your first Toastmaster meeting? How was the experience today?
Yeah, I found it quite interesting, and like I enjoyed the experience. Like I never did this before, the public speaking and all. Like extempore, I didn't attempt like earlier in my life, and I found it very helpful. So thank you, evaluator and to presiding officer Utkarsh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Naman. And if this was your Thank you, Naman. If this was your first time, then I'm a super fan. You did a fantastic job, and I am so glad and excited that you enjoyed today. And I urge you to come more often and enjoy these mood meetings. We meet every Thursday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Naman. We also have another guest with us, Mani Jain. Mani, I request you to unmute and I ask you the same question. This was also your first meeting, and how was the experience today?
Initially, I was very, very nervous. While speaking, also, I was very nervous, but the experience was good, and I will be for sure joining and attending the future meetings. That's for sure. And I really like this concept. And I will be for surely share this with my friends too.
That is so kind of you and so sweet of you. Thank you so much, Mani. And we are so glad that you liked the experience. Thank you so much. And as a table topic speaker, we didn't feel like that you were nervous at all. You were pretty confident. And I'm sure you will go from strength to strength here. Thank you so much, Mani.
Thank you.
All right. The polls for the best auxiliary role player are up. I request everyone to cast their votes. All right. You have 5 seconds for the same. I think other guests have dropped off. We are already over time. I apologize for being over time today. All right. I'm going to end this poll, and we are left with one final poll, which is for the best role player. I request everyone to cast their votes before I start announcing the results. You have 10 to 15 seconds for the same. In the meantime, I'm going to ask Toastmaster Jaspreet. She is a guest from our sister club, Kerala Toastmaster. How was the experience, Jaspreet? This was, I think, one of the few meetings where you haven't taken the role and have watched the entire meeting passively, and I'm sure you must have made some notes. So, any kind of valuable feedback that you would like to give us? Toastmaster Jaspreet, are you there? All right. I think there's some lag or some network issues. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
sorry.
end this poll.
Am I audible?
Hi. Yes, you are.
Yeah, overall, the meeting was absolutely fabulous. Priyanka Mishra invited me to watch her speech. I really wanted to come and watch. It was a massively awesome experience. Great meeting, guys. You're completely going further and further and improving.
Thank you so much for such kind Toastmaster Jaspreet. And you're not a guest for us. We know that. You are sort of a member for us. Thank you so much for these valuable feedback. And yeah, Toastmaster Priyanka nailed it today. All right. That wraps up the poll section. And let me end this poll for the best role player. All right. It's time that I quickly announce the results. We are running out of time. In fact, we are over time. All right. Let's beginning with the best auxiliary role player. The winner is clear. The winner is our counter, Toastmaster Anshuman. Can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Anshuman? It was a unanimous call. Congratulations, Toastmaster Anshuman. Moving on to the best table topic speaker. So the best table topic speaker, there was a decent fight given by relatively novice speakers, but when you have a distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder taking the stage and presenting and giving a table topic, it becomes very difficult for others to compete. And it was indeed the same thing. Toastmaster Rupinder won convincingly. Can we have a huge round of applause for him? All right, congratulations. Moving on to the best prepared speaker. We had 3 fantastic speakers, but there is a clear winner. And the winner is speaker 3, Toastmaster Priyanka, who is going to attempt her speech at the district level contest, if I'm not wrong. Congratulations, Priyanka, and all the very best for your contest. Moving on to the best speech evaluator. The best speech evaluator, it was a tough fight between 2 evaluators, but by a whisker of a margin, the winner is evaluator number 3, distinguished Toastmaster Anand. Can we have a huge round of applause for him as well? Finally, the big one, the best role player. The fight was between TMOD Neeraj, General Evaluator Srishti, and Table Topic Master Megha. And the winner is the Toastmaster of the day, Madam Vice President Education, Toastmaster Neeraj. Congratulations, Toastmaster Neeraj. Very well deserved. And congratulations to everyone. We had such a fruitful meeting, such a healthy attendance, and we can pat ourselves on the back for that. Very, very proud of everyone. And this concludes the formal part of